One of the best parts about this channel is that after I post each video, I get to hear all your thoughts on these movies, and that way we can chat. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about a brand new VOD release, Private Chat. Let me know in the comments before we begin what your thoughts on this movie were. If you already saw it, if you were excited for it, if you weren't planning on seeing it, let me know so we can discuss. Also, make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you like these reviews, as it helps me out immensely by getting my channel out there and growing the community. And if you are new here, I hope you consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with reviews of new releases, older films, hidden gems, and so much more on a near daily basis. But let's not waste any more time and let's talk about Private Chat. This stars Peter Vack as Jack, an internet gambler living in New York City who becomes fixated on Scarlet, played by Julia Fox, a cam girl from San Francisco. His obsession reaches a boiling point when fantasy materializes in reality and Jack sees Scarlet on a rainy Chinatown street. This is written and directed by Ben Hosier, this being his third feature film, and it premiered at Fantasia Festival over the summer of 2020 before getting a VOD and limited theatrical release in February. It's also the next major film for Julia Fox after her breakout role in Uncut Gems. Now, the last film made about cam girls, at least that I'm aware of, is 2018's Cam, which took a look at the subject through a horror lens. Now, this is a more grounded look at that topic, and it's presented from two points of view. The first half is almost all through Jack's perspective, with the only times we see Scarlet being on camera, but then the second half of the film is mostly presented through Scarlet's perspective, and we get more of a look at her personal life. And I will say, through both halves of the movie, Julia Fox is by far this film's best element. That same charismatic energy she had in Uncut Gems carries over to this film. There's especially this air of mystery to her through the first half that Fox captures wonderfully. Jack pays her extra to drop her act a bit and talk to him more with her real personality, which she agrees to, but we can sense through her stumbling answers that she's trying to be careful about what she reveals and how much she says, though she still speaks with this air of confidence. And there's one point Jack thinks Scarlett's lying to him about this observation he makes, and she does a great job of pushing back on him, yet still having this sense that she's hard to read. I also appreciate this film's raw style, and that's the extreme sexual subject matter aside, but there were several moments where we'd have characters walking the streets of New York City and we'd follow them around with a lot of shaking, moving shots. And there was this documentarian style to these moments that I really appreciated, and given where it goes, it added to the film's sense of trying to make you feel uncomfortable. Which leads to my criticisms of this film. It seemed like this was meant to be this look into things such as loneliness and isolation, which are themes that will hit pretty close to home for many people who have been quarantined through a year-long pandemic, but it ultimately never has anything totally insightful to say on the subject, and a lot of the look into these characters can feel surface level, with storylines that felt as if they weren't fully thought through. There's a subplot especially involving Jack getting involved with two guys, one of whom is Buddy Duress from another Safdie Brothers film, Good Time, and they're involved with some gambling he does on the internet, but it's a storyline that ultimately goes nowhere, and the same goes for when Jack attempts to reconnect with his ex Emma, played by Nikki Belfilio. And then there are decisions that some of these characters make that are a bit questionable, including an extremely uncomfortable finale that definitely pushes some boundaries. Though the one issue that I had that loomed over this entire film is the fact that I just couldn't find Jack to be a sympathetic character whatsoever. He's clearly a guy who has a lot of issues when it comes to socializing with others, and I would never want that to be a reason alone to write someone off, as that is an issue that can also hit pretty close to home for people, but the guy engages in some outright creepy behavior at various points in the film, most notably going into stalker territory multiple times and completely invading other characters' privacies, almost all women. And that's just not someone I'm able to get behind as a character. Given the fact this film tries to take a very grounded, realistic approach to its subject matter, the fact we spend about 45 minutes or so trying to find sympathy for a guy who does multiple things that cross the line just didn't sit right with me. So I found myself breathing a sigh of relief when we switched to Scarlet's perspective, as she was easily much more sympathetic. It's just I wished that we got more insight into her character from the start, and we were following her around for much of the film instead, because it just felt a bit gross in a way given what Jack does here and the amount of time we spend with him. Yeah, I really didn't like this one. I thought Julia Fox's performance was great, and I look forward to seeing her take on more lead roles. I just hope they're not exactly in the vein of something like this. The film takes a very grounded look at its subject matter, and while I appreciate the camera work that gave it an authentic feel, and the fact it attempted to address themes of isolation and finding connection. Not only is it just surface level, but it was also hard to get behind the fact that we follow a lead character who does multiple things that cross a line here, yet we're also asked to feel sympathy for him. Not that the film had anything insightful to say, but because of that, it was hard to get through the whole thing given the territory it treads. Private Chat gets a 4.5 out of 10. So let me know, did you see Private Chat, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Do you like these sort of dramas? Do you want to see more from Julia Fox? Let me know in the comments below so we can discuss. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll catch you next time.